God replied, the burning bush. Moses lived in Midian for 40 years. He got married and had children. One day while he was taking care of his sheep near Mount Sinai, he saw something amazing. A thorn bush was on fire, but it was not burning up. When Moses went near to see why, he heard a voice said inside the bush said, Moses, do not come any closer. Take off your sandals, because where you're standing on is holy ground. It was Jehovah who was talking by means of an angel. Moses was afraid, so he covered his face. The voice said, I have seen the suffering of the Israelites. I will save them from the Egyptian and bring them to a good land. You are the one who will lead my people out of Egypt. Don't you think that must have surprised Moses? Moses asked, what should I say when the people ask who sent me? God replied, tell them that Jehovah, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob has sent you. Moses then said, what if the people don't listen to me? Jehovah gave Moses proof that he would help him. He told Moses to throw his sticks on the ground. Then the stick became a snake. When Moses grabbed the stick by the tail, it became a stick again. Jehovah said, when you perform this sign, it will prove that I sent you. Moses said, I am not a good speaker. Jehovah promised him, I will tell you what to say, and I will send your brother Aaron to help you. Knowing that Jehovah was with him, Moses took his wife and son and headed back to Egypt. That's how the story ends. That's the end of the story. He didn't show me where he performed the miracle, but Jehovah told him, alright, so Moses chose Jehovah. In Egypt, Jacob's family became known as Israelites. After Jacob and Joseph died, a new Pharaoh began to rule. He was afraid that the Israelites were becoming more powerful than the Egyptians. So this Pharaoh made the Israelites slaves. He forced them to make bricks and to work very hard in the fields. But the more the Egyptians forced them to work hard, the more the Israelites grew in number. Because Pharaoh did not like that. He commanded that all the newborn Israelites was be killed. Can you imagine how scared the Israelites must have been? An Israelite woman named Jochebed had a beautiful baby boy to protect him. She put him in a basket and hid him in the reeds of the river Nile. So she said, after everything started, the babysitter Miriam stayed nearby to see what would happen. Pharaoh's daughter came to bathe in the river and saw the basket. Inside she found a crying baby. She felt sorry for him. Miriam asked, should I go find a woman who can nurse the child for you? When Pharaoh's daughter said yes, Miriam brought back her own mother, Jochebed. Pharaoh's daughter said to her, take this baby, nurse him for me, and I will pay you. When the child grew older, Jochebed brought him to Pharaoh's daughter, who named him Moses and raised him as her own son. Moses grew up as a prince and could have anything he wanted, but Moses never forgot Jehovah. He knew that he was really an Israelite and not Egyptian, and he chose to serve Jehovah. At the age of 40, Moses decided to help the people, his people. When he saw an Egyptian beating an Israelite slave, Moses hit the Egyptian so hard that he died. Moses hit the body of the son. When Pharaoh found out, he tried to kill Moses, but Moses ran away to the land of Midian. Jehovah took care of him there. So that is where he saw the burning bush, and he was told how to go and perform the miracle for his people. And Jehovah sent some plague after Jehovah sent plague. The first 3 plagues Jehovah sent. The Israelites were forced to work hard as slaves. Jehovah sent Moses and Aaron to Pharaoh with this message. Let my people go that they can worship me in the wilderness. Pharaoh proudly replied, I do not care what Jehovah says, and I will not let the Israelites go. Then Pharaoh forced them to work even harder. Jehovah would teach Pharaoh a lesson. Do you know how? He brought the 10 plagues on Egypt. Jehovah told Moses, Pharaoh is not listening to me. In the morning he will be at the river Nile. Go to him and tell him that because he has not let my people go, all the water in the Nile will turn into blood. Moses obeyed and went to Pharaoh. Pharaoh watched as Aaron hit the Nile with his stick, and the river turned into blood. The river began to stink. The fish died, and there was no fresh water to drink from the Nile. Pharaoh still refused to let the Israelites go. 7 days later, Jehovah sent Moses back to Pharaoh with his message. If you don't send my people away, Egypt will be filled with frogs. Aaron raised his stick, and frogs began to cover the land. The people found frogs in their houses, in their beds, and in their bowls. There were frogs everywhere. Pharaoh had Moses beg Jehovah to end this plague. Pharaoh promised that he would let the Israelites go. So Jehovah said, stop the plague. And the Egyptians piled up the dead frogs, heaped them on heap after heap. The land began to stink, but again Pharaoh would not let the people go. Then Jehovah told Moses, Aaron must hit the ground with his stick, and the dust will turn into gnats or small biting flies. Immediately there were gnats everywhere. Some of Pharaoh's own people told him, the plagues comes from God. But still Pharaoh would not let the Israelites go. That's stubborn enough, Pharaoh. So God sent more plague. Jehovah sent more plague, the 6th plague. Moses and Aaron went to tell Pharaoh God's message. If you don't let my people go, I will send God flies to the land. Swarms of God flies invaded the house of Egyptians, both rich and poor. The whole land was full of God flies. But in the land of Goshen, where the Israelites live, there was no God fly. Starting with this 4th plague, the plague hurt only the Egyptians. Pharaoh pleaded, begged Jehovah to take these flies away. Your people can go. But when Jehovah took the God flies away, Pharaoh changed his mind. Would Pharaoh ever learn his lesson? Jehovah said, if Pharaoh does not let my people go, the animals of the Egyptian will become sick and die. The next day the animals began to die. But the the animals of the Israelites didn't die. Still Pharaoh was stubborn and he wouldn't give in. Then Jehovah told Moses to go back to Pharaoh and throw ashes into the air. The ashes became dust and filled the air and settled on all the Egyptians. The dust caused painful sores to break out on all of them, the Egyptians and their animals. Even so, Pharaoh refused to let the Israelites go. Jehovah sent Moses back to Pharaoh with his message. Are you still refusing to send my people away? Tomorrow hail will rain down on the land. The next day Jehovah sent hail, thunder, and fire. It was the storm, the worst storm Egypt has ever seen. All the trees and the crops were ruined. But those in Goshen, Pharaoh said, beg Jehovah to make this stop. Then you can go. But as soon as the hail and the rain stopped, Pharaoh changed his mind. Then Moses said, now locusts will eat any plants that were left over from the hailstorm. Millions of locusts ate everything that was left in the field and on the trees. Pharaoh pleaded, begged Jehovah to send these locusts away. But even after Jehovah stopped the locusts, Pharaoh was still stubborn. Jehovah told Moses, stretch out your hand toward the sky immediately. The sky became completely dark. For 3 days, Egyptians could not see anything or anybody. Only the Israelites had light in their houses. Pharaoh said to Moses, you and your people can go. Just leave your animals here. Moses said, we must take our animals so we can offer them to our God. Pharaoh was very angry. He shouted, get away from me. If I see you again, I will kill you. 10th plague. So Jehovah sent another plague upon him. So Moses promised Pharaoh that he would not try to see him again. But before he left, he told Pharaoh at midnight, every firstborn child in Egypt, from the son of Pharaoh to the sons of the slaves, will die. Jehovah told the Israelites to have a special meal. He said, kill a 1-year-old male sheep or goat and put some of its blood on your doorway. Roast the meat and eat it along with unleavened bread. Be dressed with your sandals on, ready to go. This night I will set you free. Can you imagine how excited the Israelites must have been? At midnight, Jehovah's angel went to every house in Egypt. In the houses that were marked with the blood on the door, the firstborn died. But the angel passed over the houses marked with the blood. Every Egyptian family, rich and poor, lost a child, but not one of the Israelites' children died. Pharaoh's own son was dead. Pharaoh could not take it anymore. He immediately told Moses and Aaron, get up. Get out of here. Go and worship your God. Take your animals and go. Under a full moon, the Israelites marched out of Egypt, organized by family and tribe. There were 600,000 Israelites, men and many women and children. Also, a lot of other people went with them, so that they could worship Jehovah too. The Israelites were free at last. To remember how Jehovah had saved them, they would have that same special meal each year. It was called the Passover. Amen.